One of the concepts in Buddhism that you may be interested in looking into is the concept of skillful means. Buddhists realize that no one wants really to save themselves, and so it's a tremendous effort into being convinced to change your habits and move away from your suffering. We think suffering is suffering, but actually we enjoy it more than. And so Buddhism has developed this idea of skillful means, and other traditions too. Skillful means to adapt the teaching according to the predisposition of the people. And so I give you a very quick example. There was a story, it's a true story from my professor. A lady came to a Zen temple in Toronto, and she was so confused, and she wanted to get something from the temple, and she wanted to have a mantra. And so, but mantra are not really specific to Zen, and my teacher, professor, said, well, you can go and see the master, and the master probably can do something. And she came here, she went to see the master, and 5 minutes later she came back. She was really happy. She said, he gave me a mantra, and I'm going to recite this in the morning, in the afternoon. And so she goes home, and she comes back a month, and many of her problems were solved. She felt that she was so happy to recite this mantra. At some point, my teacher talked to the master and says, do you think we should reveal what the meaning of the mantra you gave her? He says, no, she has to discover it by herself. And the mantra was actually counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in Korean. So she didn't know Korean, so she thought it was very specific. And so what the mantra, here we have a skillful means has the implication of being deceived, but you are deceived for a very good reason. And so the question is, the teacher that gives you a skillful means will actually cheat you, but it's for the purpose of saving you or helping you. But if the intention is not right, then we can say that the skillful means becomes a Trojan horse, because you are being convinced, but in order to do things, but for the reason that serve the interest of someone else. And so I wonder if what you are presenting is somehow brings about the question of ethical issues.
Of course it does.
It's like these companies are there for a profit, and so when you thought whatever they give you as arguments is just for a profit, then somehow it kind of dissolves the hollow, kind of the second thing I want you maybe to think about, when we look at the Red Bull effect, are we missing a part of the picture here? And this may be some of my colleagues here. Are we dealing with what I would call a social wave or a social tsunami? And these guys are good to spot when it starts and where it moves, and so they position themselves just at the right place, but they don't create the wave. When the wave disappears, no matter the technique they use, all the things you mentioned, it doesn't work because something is missing. Could it be possible as a situation so that the technique applied to once you have something that is at the social level is moving. You are just there to be able to recognize it, and you are riding the wave better than the others. But if the wave is not there, no matter how skilled you are in riding, there is no water. So